Hi there, my name is Aidan George, and today I'll be talking about artificial intelligence. Now, before we can take a look into how artificial intelligence will affect our future, we have to understand what it is and what it is historically. Now, my favorite definition of artificial intelligence actually comes from the Merriam-Webster Kids Dictionary, and it is, quote, the power of a machine to imitate intelligent human behavior, which I think is an excellent and concise example of what AI really is in our world today. Now, when we look at AI historically, it actually started in the 1950s. Crazy, right? Now, that's when it was just a science fiction. It was work of science fiction. It was just an idea. And then it became a scientific concept and a question. How can we make a machine learn like a human, act like a human, and behave like a human without it being human? And that's a pretty existential question in itself. How can we make something non-human more human? And that lasted for around 30 years until it really became implemented into what we know as machine learning. Now, when it comes to machine learning, the basic definition for machine learning is computers will begin to learn without being programmed. This means that it'll intake data and then act accordingly based on that data. But it doesn't require any human intelligence. It creates its own algorithm, which is a very, very impressive thing for a small machine, especially in the 1980s. And now we're in a time where it's deep learning. Now, deep learning is when machines begin to mimic how human brains work. This is the whole, Google DeepMind, AlphaGo, a software beating the best Go player in the world, and then having another software beat that software to where it is now the best Go player in all of history. And this was over a week of just data collection from the machine. That's the day that we live in now. And I think that this is going to be the biggest step that we're going to see in change of technology in our future. Now, what are some questions? What role would I like AI to play in my career? So my career of choice would be the advertising industry. I've been very infatuated with it since a young age. How do ads target people? How are people attracted to ads? What makes it about an ad? What sells the product, the ad? So how can I make that ad perfect? How can I make sure that the person will buy it or at least look at it and capture their focus for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever ad it is? I think that AI is going to be able to understand and really know all about our customers. Whether it's, for example, BMW. Let's say I'm trying to sell a car. That AI will be able to find the right target customers, people who have bought them, people who talk about them, people who research them, people who watch it, regardless, it's going to be able to find that information, those target customers, and, it's going to put that ad where it is accordingly so that all the best people for that ad can see it. That's what AI is going to do in my particular profession. I'm not going to lie, I do have some reservations about artificial intelligence as a whole. Although it's incredibly immersive and it's incredibly intelligent, I think that that's kind of the scariest part about it. It's smarter than a lot of human intelligence. It has through the roof IQ and has data analysis and algorithms that we can only just understand. I mean, Facebook had their machine created its own language and they didn't even control that. So I think it's going to have to do something with that lack of human element that is going to have this spiral out of control. And I think that if anything bad were to happen due to AI, it would be because of deep learning. What types of skills I think will be most important in the future of work? Programming as a whole, I think it's going to be the new blue-collar job. I think that manual labor is being phased out for machines. Machines are more efficient. They're cheaper. You don't have to pay or feed or house machines. They work 24/7, no days off, 365. I think that, it's also, with this deep learning, it's going to be able to do all that programming instantly, way better than a human, way faster. And you can program, 10 different algorithms in, a handful of minutes where it would take a human a very long time to do that. I think that, these deep learning machines are absolutely going to take over the industry and take a lot of jobs from humans. That's kind of my biggest reservation. But regardless, although change isn't, looked upon as great, it's necessary in our society. And I think that this is the next big step in our world. And I'm very excited for the future. Thank you for your time.